Hey there to my 30 subscribers, my future subscribers, and all the people that secretly watch me without subscribing. Today I want to talk to you about dreams and what they mean in general, nightmares, the causes, and how to minimize them, and a little bit about my own personal experiences. I am going to break the video down into 5 categories, and I will try to remember to put the timestamp in the description in case you want to just go to a specific spot. But all of us dream. Everybody does. Some people will say they don't, but that's just because they don't remember their dreams. And we all have, I'm sure there's a possibility that there's some rare person out there with a defect that keeps them from dreaming, but in general, we all dream. So that's what I want to talk about. I'm not going to get into details about specific symbols and stuff in dreams, because what means one thing to one person can mean something completely different to someone else. And the symbols just kind of depend on your situation and your personality and what you're going through. So anyway, here we go. So this first section, I want to talk about my own personal experiences. And the first dream might trigger some people. I hope not. But I want to talk about some dreams that I had. I don't have them, but I had them, that were semi-accurate, but not accurate detail for detail. And the first one was my uncle and my dad. They were hiding behind a rock in the middle of a war. And in the dream, my dad and my uncle got shot, and my uncle was killed and my dad was injured. And I had this dream repetitively over and over and over. I don't even know how many times. I was only 3 years old, but I remembered it because the dream kept happening. Like, it was constantly happening. And when my uncle did end up dying from a gunshot wound, the dreams stopped, and I was kind of traumatized by it, because even though I was 3 years old, I thought it was my fault for not telling somebody, which obviously it wasn't my fault, because how would a 3-year-old be able to explain that to somebody, and who would take him seriously? Also around that time, I was told that the doctors told my dad that he wasn't going to live another 15 years or something. I don't remember exactly. Just stories I'd heard over the years before I told anybody about the dreams. But so, like, semi-accurate, but not exactly what happened. Another dream that I had was when I was a teenager, and the details were really bizarre, but what happened in the dream, I was just walking down the street, and I won't get into all the details because they were just crazy, off the wall, impossible things. But in the dream, I met my brother's friend's mom, and I'd never met her before, but I met her in this dream. And then the next day, I went with my brother over to his friend's house and met her in person, and she was identical as like she was in the dream. So I always thought that was kind of interesting. And then the strangest experience I had this dream that there was this sacrifice going on, and I was kind of off to the side watching from a distance, and nobody could see me, but I was watching this whole thing take place. And the next day, my brother, he had spent the night with some friends, and he came home, and he was telling me how they hypnotized one of their friends and they claimed that they were experiencing like a past life, and they described it exactly like it was in my dream. So I always thought that was kind of weird. But as far as accurate dreams, you know, those dreams that you have them and you're just kind of blow them off, and then years later they actually happen, detail for detail. I mean, I've had dreams that, you know, days, weeks, months, years, decades go by before the dream actually comes true. But generally I know when they're going to, because when I wake up from a dream and I realize I haven't seen the people's faces in the dream, I might know who they are, but I don't see their faces. So anytime I don't see their faces, those dreams always come true. But I struggle to remember them for some reason. Like, I'll sit there and think about them, but then they just disappear. Like, no matter how much I try to remember them, and I know I should write them down, which I will get into in a little bit, but I never do. Because I don't know why I don't write them down. Might save me some heartache if I did, but I don't. So in the second part of this video, I want to talk about ideas to make your dreams more vivid, if you want like to have them stand out more and remember them better. And of course, the first one is to keep a journal. And when you do that, it just kind of triggers your mind so that as you're writing them down, it helps kind of keep them in your memory. And so when you have them again, or you have some similar dream, then it gets put into your memory even more, and it gets more real. Another thing that's mentioned online, which I've never tried, is to increase your melatonin levels. And I mean, there's all kinds of ways online to do that. Obviously there's the actual medication or whatever it is. You can, I guess it's a hormone, I'm not really sure, but you can go and buy it, or you can do things to build up the melatonin in your system naturally. And another idea is listening to ambient music. Most people don't really want to listen to, you know, stressful music or loud music, or, you know, with a high beat or something, because then you'll just sit there and concentrate on the music and not go to sleep. Or, you know, the music will shift while you're sleeping and wake you up. So make sure it's something mellow, relaxing, peaceful. Another idea I've seen online said to set an alarm to wake you up when you're entering your REM sleep. And I'm not really sure how you would do that. I guess it'd be a process of elimination, you know. Set your alarm for a specific time and figure out, like, you know, whether you were dreaming when the alarm goes off or not. If not, you might want to set it a little later the next time. To me, that sounds kind of complicated, but, you know, it might work for some people. Something that I had done before in the past that I thought was more interesting is to create an audio file that will like play on repeat, and just put in the audio file like what you're wanting to dream about or whatever, or just, you know, it doesn't really matter what it is as long as it's on repeat, so that you'll dream about the same thing every night until it becomes more vivid. And the third category is choosing your dreams. which, the whole playing the audio thing, you can do that way to help you choose your dream. If you want to dream about something specific, or if you want to dream about somebody specific, you could maybe talk about them or record them talking or something, and just create an audio that plays over and over, and listen to it every night when you're sleeping, kind of quiet, not too loud. Also, you should turn off your lights, and that means TV, computer, your phone screen, for at least an hour before you go to bed, because the light is disruptive to your thoughts. And then spend about 15 minutes or more. You could spend that entire hour if you want to, just writing whatever you want to dream about. Just, put it on paper, write it down, and that'll help encourage your brain to just concentrate on whatever it is that you're writing. And then when you wake up in the morning, don't get up. Don't start thinking about the things you got to do for the day. Just lay there, think about your dream, and if you're having trouble remembering what you were dreaming, try to remember the emotions and feelings that you were having when you were dreaming, and then hopefully it'll come to you. And then back to a previous thing in here on the video, write it down. Write down whatever it was. Next, we have causes of nightmares, and there are a lot of things that cause nightmares for different people. Being scared before you go to bed, like you don't want to binge watch horror movies or binge watch, even if it's something that's not scary, but if it's something that is stressful, you don't want to binge watch, murder mysteries or something, probably. Also, if you have stress, anxiety, depression, or lack of sleep, that can make you have nightmares. And then, of course, having the nightmares can make the stress, anxiety, depression, and lack of sleep worse, and turns into a vicious cycle. So you want to work on those things. Also, people don't realize, apparently blood pressure medications, narcotics, and antidepressants can cause nightmares. So maybe, I don't know if you could just take them at a different time of day. I don't really know how that works. I did not go into research on that because I'll fall into a rabbit hole for several hours. Then you got alcohol. Alcohol suppresses your REM sleep, and so you won't really dream usually until it gets closer to morning, as the alcohol's wearing off, and then you'll have vivid morning nightmares. And then also PTSD causes nightmares, and it can cause them at any time, any stage of your sleep, whether you're in REM sleep or not. And the last category we have is minimizing your nightmares. So to minimize the nightmares, you want to make sure to eat healthy and not eat too late at night. Try not to eat at least 2 hours before you go to bed, not even snacks. Probably nothing other than water in the last 2 hours, and not too much water. Stay away from caffeine. That'll get your blood pressure up, which will cause, I wouldn't say it cause nightmares, but getting your blood pressure up will increase the nightmares because you'll have anxiety while you're trying to sleep. Wear loose clothing. Don't wear anything restrictive or anything that can twist and make you uncomfortable. And then establish a relaxing routine before bed. You might I don't know, take a relaxing bath or listen to some relaxing music. Just, make sure everything's peaceful, for at least an hour before you go to bed. Just have a peaceful environment and go to bed early, because the later you go to bed, the more stressed your body is. And then when you do have a nightmare, one thing you could do is you could get up and you can write kind of how the dream starts, and then write a new ending for it. And just, maybe go over it, reread it right before bed, reread how you want the ending to go. If it's a little kid, obviously they're not going to be able to sit there and write down the nightmares, but maybe you could talk to them and help them come up with ideas on how to change it, and ask them, hey, what do you want to happen in the dream? And before they go to bed, talk to them about how the dream could end, and make it happy and cheerful, and then hopefully the nightmares will taper off. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Those are my 2 cents. I have a lot of 2 cents. And please like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you think, give me your ideas. And I now have a new feature on my YouTube channel for the community, so you can talk to me on there, write to me, just without being on an actual video. So I don't know why, because I don't think I qualify for that, but they gave it to me anyway. So you can always come comment on there, and at least I think you can. And share the video with your friends, and invite everybody else to subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye.
Let me pose real quick. The spotlight's on me, take a picture. Okay, I'm the man of the year. How this dude I see is the man in the mirror. Haters talk shit in the deaf man's ear, but the deaf man sees